guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a Q&A for the digital storyboard. And when I say digital storyboard, I'm referencing the Texas 4-H digital storyboard contest. So for all information about that contest, you go to the Texas 4-H website, go to the interior design section, go to storyboard, get the guidelines, the rules, the label, upload requirements, all the information is there. For district contest, the Texas 4-H district contest, it depends on your district. Every district is going to be different, so make sure to go to your district contest website to find out the rules, guidelines, and upload requirements as well. They should be very similar to the state, but again, every district's different. So question 1 that I got. Does your flat or illustration have to be digitally drawn? No! If you like to hand draw your flat and illustration, by all means. Because just because you hand draw your flat or illustration doesn't mean it's not digital. Because you have to take a photo of your hand-drawn illustration or flat. You have to either take a photo or scan it and upload it to put it onto your digital storyboard. So that still makes it digital. I think that's the biggest fear that everyone's getting a little confused on. Just because it's hand-drawn doesn't mean that's not digital, because it is, because you have to upload it into your digital storyboard. With that being said, this was not a question, but I want you to think about your storyboard. In the past, we put it on a storyboard, right? An actual poster board. Just because you don't have an actual poster board anymore, doesn't mean you're not putting it on a digital one. Now, your actual poster board in real life that you could touch is now digital, right? You still have your poster board size requirement, but you need to cut and paste all the pieces of your storyboard into the poster. Hopefully that makes sense. You're still putting all the little components of the storyboard contest, the illustration flats, fabrics, inspiration pick, what have you, title, labels, everything, onto a digital poster board. So now it's digital, but your size requirements is now digital, but that is still a poster board. And you're still putting all those pieces onto a digital poster board. Hopefully that helps or encourages you to see it in a different light. Second question, photo selection tool. I use the photo selection tool from Photoshop. There may be different programs out there that you can use to get the same concept. I don't know what software programs are available because there's a lot out there, but whatever software program that you have and gives you the final product that you need, you can definitely use. So on the contest guidelines, they give you some suggestions of some of software programs you can use. But that's not limited to you. You can definitely use any software program to give you the final product. So use what you have to get your digital storyboard. For this photo selection tool, you definitely don't need to do that extra detail to get on your digital storyboard. Now, I personally did that because I didn't start from scratch. I used old examples and I took that and cut and pasted the little pieces and put it onto the digital form, if that makes sense. So the first time I did it, I used this poster, and it's very busy. And when I tried to isolate my images, it looked like that. Okay, so if you notice, my image is not the focus because you see some stuff on the ground in the background. So I had to use the photo selection tool to isolate my image, because the whole point of your storyboard is your design. You want to show your design, you want to tell your design, and if that takes away all the other stuff you add, if that takes away from your design, you're not telling your story right. So make sure your design is being told the way you want it to. So that's why I use the photo selection tool, because I used old examples and tried to paste it into a new one. So you who are starting from scratch, you're going to be fine. So when I use the base one, Catching the Waves, it's on a blank poster board. Now, me being nitpicky, there's nothing wrong with this, by the way, but being nitpicky, my illustration's on a white, bright piece of paper, and if you look at the background, my poster board is a little bit darker, and that bugged me personally, but that's my design aesthetic. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it, because for you, you're probably not going to cut out your illustration. You're probably going to leave it on the same piece of paper, and it's going to be all the same color. And that's still going to look beautiful and great, and it doesn't take away from the story. Now, again, that was me being nitpicky for my own personal design. If you do that, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. It still makes it beautiful. So don't be discouraged. You don't have to use a photo selection tool. You can definitely just even put it in a crop box. It does not have to be by itself with no background. That's just an extra detail that I want to mess around with. What was my last question? Oh, another question that I got was background images. So background images, you have to be very careful with that. I know I briefly described it in my video in the how to create a storyboard using Canva. I kind of touched on it, but not really. But your background image does not need you don't need to have a background image. It can be a solid color, and it's still beautiful, and it still conveys the whole story and gets your point across. Also, I would be really careful with background images because you don't want to take away, again, from your design. Your design is your main focal point. If you want to tell the story of your design, and if you're distracted by the background, you're not doing it right. You again, tell your story correctly and make sure nothing is too distracting from your design. The background image should be a bonus, but it shouldn't be the main focus, if that makes sense. Also, you have to think about your upload requirements. So everything you add digitally into your storyboard makes your file size bigger. So depending on your upload requirements, whether it's for state or district, you want to make sure it's not over your upload requirements. And the photo background might give that over. So you have to be very, very careful. Make sure everything you do doesn't make it too big of a file size that it goes over your upload requirements. Hopefully that answers your question. Basically, have fun. There's no wrong way to do a digital storyboard. You can do it any way you want. You can have real live fabrics, take a photo and upload it. You can hand draw your illustration flat, and that still makes it a digital storyboard. I want you to realize anything you put on your digital storyboard is still digital. So don't be discouraged, have fun. There's no wrong way to do it. And yeah, for more comments or cues, definitely comment below and I'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.